Hello everyone and welcome to Retire Smart East Texas. I'm your host Paul 𝘀🐪 with my co-host today, Miss Staci Aldridge of Integrity Financial. Welcome to the program, Stace.
Thank you so much. I always love being here.
We love having you.
Good.
So every time you come, I know I'm going to learn something new. So are we ready to get in there and get started?
Let's try. Yeah, it's a big topic today.
Yes, and this is a great topic because I think a lot of folks in East Texas will be very interested, right? Because market volatility is affecting everybody's retirement plan these days, right?
It truly is.
So I wonder, I mean, what's your advice to folks? Should they get out of the market all at once? Should they ride this out? I mean, people really want direction.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say?
Yes, I do. There's not one definite answer to that, Paul, but we've gone through a roller coaster year.
You ain't kidding.
And I mean, 2 years, really, if we look back.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping that we're going to phase out of this and go on the upside of that roller coaster
Yes,
again.
that would be good.
But statistically, if we look back on 2022, 87 of the actual open trading days were just as volatile and swung as they did back in 2008.
Really?
So it's been a very volatile, very ups and down, just a constant ticking year, if you will. I've got a chart I'd like to pull up to kind of bring it to life. And again, I love pictures.
Yes, me too.
So, and I think pictures say 1,000 words. And this simple little chart, if you will, that's on the screen. Yes, we do financials. Yes, you go, oh, she's going to pull up a chart. No, I'm not talking about the actual movement of the S&P per se, but I'm talking about the cliffs we see. So as we have progressed in going through the 90s, and then 9/11 came around. That wasn't historical, something we could count on or evaluate or predict, completely out of our control. So if you were getting ready to retire at that pinnacle point, and then I think about that peak in time in the S&P, those individuals were stepping off on a cliff and had no idea. So what was going to happen to their accounts, and they're going to try to navigate their way through retirement. Many of them did not retire, stayed on board to let their accounts come back up, and lo and behold, in 2008, again, another non-predictable cliff, but their 401ks just got back to where they were. So they were finally feeling good again, I'm gonna be able to retire, and boom, another cliff. And then we rocked along for a long time. And I was giving workshops and educational forums on how long and what's gonna happen in this market, because we went past our 7 or 8 year period. And it was teasing us for a while. We get up to 2015, we had a little bobble, but what happened in 2020?
Right.
So another cliff.
Yes.
So our money makers got smart about that one, so we're not going to wait around for that growth again. We're going to kind of help things along in our market. But to say that and to have a picture up front for people to see the actual cliffs while I was describing that lets you see, can I do that? Can I stomach and weather that through my retirement years? And I think it's important to understand when stepping into retirement, we're going to have to prepare for all of those unknowns. And we're going to need to feel comfortable about that. So that is one of my focuses today, is even though we are in a midst of turbulence, and here we are approaching a great recession. We are in a global financial crisis, but do we have hope?
Yeah.
And that's what today's topic is about. I always like to bring the facts to the table and maybe what's happening, but let's talk about the hope we have to hedge against these losses.
You know, let's pull that apart a little bit more if we could. So let me ask you, bull market versus the bear market on a retirement portfolio.
Correct.
Right? Because I would imagine it's a little bit different than if you're in your accumulating phase, bull versus bear, right?
Absolutely. And we have different timing factors involved with when we're younger, and we've got time to weather this. You know, if we're approaching, we're 50s, 60s, and this is our nest egg, we got to open our eyes and not stick our head in the hole and say, oh, I'm going to weather it again.
No, you're right.
So we've got to be proactive. But I'm glad you mentioned bear and bull market, because I have a little fun fact that I want to mention today. We have been in a bear market in 2020. It started January 3rd. But they have to watch it for a while, and so now then on early June-ish, they declared we're technically in a bear market.
Right.
And it's been that way. So I would say, fair, here we are December, it's been all year of a bear market. But you see the symbols, and we talk about bear market and bull market, and what is that? Why and how did that come up?
Right, exactly.
So I finally wanted to look into it. So bears, when they attack, they go down.
Really?
So they're in a bear market, and that's the market going down. When a bull goes to attack, he goes up with his horns.
Really?
And so that's the symbol of how that came along to be a bear in a bull market. So I thought that would be a fun fact.
I think that's a really fun
to
fact.
kind of throw out there.
To know where this terminology comes from, I think it makes it a lot easier to understand, right?
Yeah, and you know which one you're talking about. So.
Absolutely.
Sure. And it's interesting, too, we think about, here we are with volatility, and there are a lot of commercials going on out there, too.
Yes.
With financial institutions. And there was one that just came up ironically, and I thought it was perfect timing. And I can't mention the commercial, but it was kind of like, if you're losing sleep at night and you wake up at whatever hour in the morning and you're worried about your accounts, give us a call.
Yeah.
So the point is, we're always here for you, right? That's the point they're making. But you know what, Paul?
Yeah.
If you're waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, that means you don't have a plan.
Right. Something's really wrong, right?
Something's going wrong that you need to make sure that you maybe visit someone so we can help you sleep at night and put a plan in place so that you're not worried about that all the time.
You know, it's interesting you're talking about that very concept, right? Peace of mind is what everybody's looking for. And honestly, having financial peace is huge. That's a huge part of it. And a lot of times when folks can't sleep, they can't put their finger on it, it is tied to something financial going on in their life, right?
It is all the time. Money is a big factor in everything. It affects, if we're going into retirement, are we going to hold off? Or if we're in retirement, do we reduce what we're withdrawing?
Yeah.
Or shift some of our planning around? And it affects us emotionally, it affects our family. Yes, it's an all-around encompassing topic, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as we wouldn't like it for me.
No, exactly. And I know you shared with me too, one of the things that you really, really advocate for with your clients is you find out when they first, go into retirement, you've mentioned that they have this fear that you want to relieve. They're afraid to spend money because they're not really sure if that's going to last. And you really like to take that head on, right?
I do. And when we're going into this type of climate economically, we had a whole show about the roller coaster of the economic cycle. But when we are in the midst of a great recession, we need to be proactive and we need to pull back off on those major expenses, or maybe pull back on the homes and the cars and that sort of thing, and taper some of our spending habits so that we can really load up and start putting more money in our cash and savings to kind of weather through that storm. So there's some active approaches that we like to talk with our clients. Hey, I want to go do this big investment and buy this property, or well, let's talk about what economic situation we're in right now. But it may be on a hot ticket in a hot market as well, and it's greatly reduced. So it's all the factors we have to take into place.
It depends on the individual's need at that point, really, right?
Yes, but the volatility has really come in as a topic with all my clients. When they come in with their documents, I can see it in their eyes.
Everybody's talking about it.
Well, and it's like, are we going to be able to retire?
Yeah.
I thought I was doing well, and here we are, and it's fallen out from underneath me this year. And I said, you know what, let's just brace yourself. I think we can get through this.
So what I understand today is you got a wonderful opportunity for folks who may be dealing with that uncertainty. Would you share that with the good folks of East Texas for us, please,
Yes, I'd
Staci?
love to. Yes, East Texas. Integrity Financial, Retire Smart East Texas. We're just right here in the middle of Longview. We would love to hear from you. Our phone number is 888-759-3335. If you have concerns about market volatility, about your accounts, your planning, going into retirement, or just wanting some confirmation that maybe there is some hope out there that you're not aware of, that's what we're all about. That's what we love to provide, is to give you that hope that, you know what, there can be some stability in your future to help you sleep at night. But just come on in. Let us talk. Let us visit 888-759-3335.
There's one thing this economy is teaching everybody, that change is the real, only true certainty. Change is always happening. Things are evolving rapidly. What's your change plan? Where are you? This is an opportunity to make some change, to get your plan reviewed. Pick up the phone. Give Staci and her team a call at 888-759-3335. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these short messages.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Welcome back, everybody, to Retire Smart East Texas. Thank you for being with us. I'm your host, Paul 𝘀𝘀𝗧𝘀. And again, my co-host, Ms. Staci Aldridge of Integrity Financial. Staci, incredible segment talking about, markets, at least putting people's mind at ease that, hey, you know what? There is hope. The hope starts with a good plan, right?
Exactly.
And so one of the things I wanted to ask you, what do you think are some of the leading causes to what's been happening in market volatility for 2022?
Well, there are some bullet points that we can focus on here, and one of them is the Fed rate hikes that we've had. So overall, through the course of the year, as of the last one, November, I think 2nd or so, we were up to 3.75 increase for the year, and that's pretty severe. And as well, the mix of inflation. So it feels like a very mixed situation with the federal hikes going up and we're suffering inflation at that time. So that's causing our volatility to swing back and forth. And secondly, the stubborn inflation that we're talking about. My goodness, wages, salaries, rents, production level, should we or should we not? Then we have post-pandemic effects.
Oh, yes.
Coming across, and then it's really affecting employment, shipments for goods and services, and things of that nature. So it's just thrown our markets out of whack for all of that. And a lot of that has to do with China's production. So that would be another one. They have a zero COVID tolerance, so they're just shut down over there, which then affects our goods that come over. Think about e-commerce and brick and mortar, and how we've learned to shop since the last 2 years, over 2020 to 2022. We've gone a lot to our computers.
Right, you're right.
And we found that it's convenient. I'm guilty of it.
Yes.
But then at the same time, I do feel guilty because I want to go back out in a way to support our stores, especially the mom and pops. And it really hurts me when I see a business is closing down somewhere.
Yeah, me too.
And it's not under control. It's just crazy market that we're in. Then we think about the global politics that's going on.
Oh, yeah. That's
all around us. The thing with Ukraine, Russia, our border crisis and whatnot. We just had another election, things of that. We're looking at the economy in that direction. So all of these variables, some that are completely out of our control, others maybe we can navigate around, but this has caused a very, very unpredictable market this year. I don't have to share that with anybody. We all know that.
Everybody knows. You're right.
We know.
You're right.
But are we going to ignore it and hope for the better? Or are we going to just say, okay, here it is. The elephant's on the table. Well, let's just take it by the reins and see what we can do and get through this and weather the storm and make plans.
Right.
Yeah. And that's who we are. And we don't have a crystal ball. We can't wave a magic wand.
No.
But we sure do have planning strategies, and we work around this as experts in this area to be able to visit with these folks and say, hey, I think we might have some hope for you.
That's good stuff, because that's what you're talking about, is really letting folks take control of the situation, right? Because to your point, you can't really control much about what's going on in the world and the world economy, the markets, and all these things. But what you're doing with your individual plan is up to you. right? And now more than ever, making sure that you can maintain to keep the majority of that.
Well, and this is all the big scale of things.
Yes.
Let's bring it back down to home.
Yes,
We're
to
just
home.
real people. And let's make sure our dreams can come true.
Yes.
Regardless of what's going on out in the big world, let's just focus on us and kind of take care of it one step at a time.
I like that.
And make it more personalized.
Yes.
And I think we can achieve that for most individuals. We really have had success in doing so.
I think that's wonderful. So what do you think the future looks like? What do you, if I had to press you and ask you to look into that crystal ball, 2023, what do you think?
Yeah. You know, I've done a little research kind of looking into it. One, just to kind of see where we're headed 23 and beyond on retirement planning for our folks and what we may or may not expect. So they're thinking we're going to still have some volatility, but I think it's because of the turbulence in the switching among sectors trying to offset this inflation.
I got you.
That they're navigating their way through this, and it's not always easy to navigate and change a cycle, if you will.
Interesting.
So I think it's going to stay somewhat turbulent, not too severe. I was looking at the inflation rate of over 8% roughly this year. Prediction for next year, maybe about 1.9-ish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
so
really
I thought that was
encouraging.
encouraging.
Yes.
Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but you know, looking into the research that I'm doing, that gives us hope and promise.
Absolutely.
But there's so many of these factors that are out of our control.
Yeah.
They're not historical norms that we can follow for a prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I was going to ask you, so the important part in the plan, if a person is in, let's say, the accumulation phase and they built their assets to a certain point, Staci, do you think it's important to have a different opinion, a second opinion, or maybe consider a specialist maybe more towards the retirement aspect as people approach retirement?
You know, that's a good point, Paul. Yes, I do. We all wear different hats. We all specialize in different areas.
Right.
Just like a physician
Sure.
might be a doctor for ear, nose, and throat, and one might be for your hips and your feet. You know?
We don't have our same pediatrician, right, Stace?
Exactly, we don't.
So why is that,
We've
right?
grown past that, yes. And retirees have grown past their accumulation phase.
Yes.
So that's such a great way to put that. And yes, we think differently. We have different specialties. And those stepping into retirement, we are now looking at retirement strategies, distribution strategies, tax-efficient strategies.
Ooh, I like it.
What are we going to do for legacy, loved ones? How does Social Security come into play? Those are not topics that are typically talked about at a financial office trying to help you climb your mountain of success. Now you're at the top of your mountain. Meaning I'm at that word way down the road called retirement.
Yeah.
So you navigated your way up your mountain. You've kind of gotten through your career, your family, whatever. Now what am I going to do?
Right.
That's what we focus on.
How do you come down safely?
Exactly.
Right?
Perfect.
Okay, so let's say folks out there are right where you are talking about, right? I mean, they're at that pivotal stage where they really know they've got to start transitioning and thinking a little bit different.
Sure.
What are you offering when they call you today, Staci?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Oh, we are offering a great opportunity for you to come in to our office right here in Longview, Texas, Integrity Financial. You're always welcome. It's a warm environment. We want to share with you about different opportunities and options for you to step into retirement. Something a little bit different than your normal conversation. We want to talk about your retirement distributions and what you can expect with the unknowns and making a plan. A plan can help you sleep at night.
Yeah.
And if anything, a review of what you already have just to confirm you're on track. We welcome a call from all of you. We are looking forward to meeting you. Again, we're right here at your back door, 888-759-3335. Come on in and let us sit down and visit for a little bit. 888-759-3335. We'd love to hear from you.
Good stuff. And now's the time. Now's the time for you. You've provided for people around you, your loved ones. Look at the relationships in your life. Who's the relationship you trust with your financial decisions? Who's that partner that you really want to go to the next level with? Because that's what you should be interviewing for right now. And Staci's willing to meet with you. Give her a call, 888-759-3335, to review an existing plan, help you build maybe even a new plan. But get you definitely the peace of mind you need. If you've got questions, you're the person she's talking to. Call today. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these short messages.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place and then help determine if you're well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision, so why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you're getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
Welcome back, everybody, to Retire Smart East Texas. Again, thank you for being with us today. I'm your host, Paul Gephardt, and again, my co-host, Ms. Staci Aldridge of Integrity Financial. Staci, some incredible information, and you know what I love about you is the key here is hope.
Yes.
Is knowing that no matter what's going on in your life, there's hope. There are people willing to help.
That's
and
right.
that's what you want to do.
We're going to hedge around those bad guys. We're going to hedge around those losses. And what we are focusing on is a hopeful, comfortable retirement. That's what we do.
So talk to me about this, the dirty A word. We always hear people say, oh my gosh, it's that word annuity.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear a lot of negative stuff, but I've read incredibly positive stuff. So what do we believe?
Yeah, I really want to dive into that, Paul, because we're nearing the end of this show, and this is the answer to so many individuals' questions and hopes. The indexed annuities came along kind of, I guess, mid-'80s, and they have been a game changer in our industry. The developers of the indexed annuities were baby boomers.
Really?
Baby boomers want my cake and eat it too. They wanted the bells and whistles. They want it to be too good to be true, right?
Yes.
Well, that's who developed them. So we get to take advantage. And now let's fast forward to 2022, 2023.
Got it.
How have they improved over time? So it's kind of like we're getting into a product that's called an annuity. But think about it being a beefed up BMW, all right? It's going to put a big smile on your face, and it's going to help you to navigate through retirement. In the first segment, we showed a diagram, and that diagram showed the peaks and valleys of what the S&P has experienced over a period of time. Well, those peaks, once we reached that and they fell off, those were cliffs. And then we recover, and then we have another cliff, and we recover. Can we go through retirement feeling good about that?
You just feel like you're getting nowhere. In some cases, maybe going backwards.
No,
which
and
is
that's
really,
like gloom and doom conversation.
Yeah.
So when we look at it out in over a period of years, that's what we're hoping retirement's going to be, right? A period of years.
Right.
So if we can build in a product that used to have a bad reputation, but if you can get rid of that and understand it's only categorized as an annuity because it can provide a forever lifetime income.
Forever lifetime income.
Yeah.
That sounds almost too good to be true.
And in addition to that, your funds are protected from market losses.
I love it.
Not only are the funds that are placed in the account 100% protected,
Wow.
the growth that your account experiences each year is 100% protected. So as we plan an income distribution, and I know that we never have to make up for recovery or losses going down in the market, it's an easy plan to put together. So if we have Social Security, we carve out money. So my first goal is, how much do you want to live on every month? How much does this person want to live on every month? That's relative, right?
Yes.
And then we use their financial resources, but these indexed annuities are the hope to so many individuals. And you know what? It's just one part of their portfolio. It's not all of it. So it's the smart, safe side. I'm going to sleep at night. I'm going to go forward. I'm not going to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and not know what's happening to my account. Some of these have ongoing pensions that increase each year with the interest earned.
Really?
So that's going to help offset inflation in the future.
Yeah, you bet.
And you can pass it to your spouse, and that spouse can live on it forever. Some we can build in some long-term care financial assistance without medical involved. And the thing too is, a lot of people say, is there liquidity?
Right. 'Cause
Absolutely.
that's what you hear. You know, they always want to attack that and say, well, I'm worried about my money being tied up forever.
Yeah. No, there's liquidity. We can make changes. There are options. If the money, if you pass away, it all goes to your beneficiaries. You can start and stop a forever income. And guess what else?
What?
These accounts provide full protection from probate upon someone's death.
Really?
In the state of Texas is a pro-property state, protects your accounts from lawsuits.
Wow.
Yes, and if you are needing Medicaid planning for a long-term care purpose, if those funds are an annuity, IRA, they are non-countable assets.
Really?
So there are some added features that are built into these indexed annuities that, again, make them sound a little too good to be true.
Right.
So as a planning individual, as an expert for retirement planning, why wouldn't I navigate to products that could fit someone's portfolio and help with that forever income?
Well, especially if they want to tackle the biggest concern everybody has is what? Income in retirement. They're afraid they're going to outlive it, right? An annuity is a good solution for that.
They are. They have some have bells and whistles that I was mentioning, and
Yeah.
some are just set forward for growth.
Yeah.
So really we kind of have a pocket full of these indexed annuities that fit different situations, if you will.
Right.
And we're going to apply those appropriately for the clients who come in who see the value in these.
Wow.
But I want to tell you the joy I get. Folks come in, I've lost so much money this year. We're talking about volatility.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can retire. Oh, please help us to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Do I need to work another year, 2 years, 5 years?
Right.
What do you suggest? When I put the numbers together and I bring in these indexed annuities in with the report, I tell you, they are game changers.
Yes.
These folks, their shoulders relax.
So real quick,
They're so happy.
the show's coming to an end. Remind folks what they need to do.
You got to give us a call. I could go on and on and on about this. And as far as these indexed annuities, providing hope through volatility, through your retirement, come on in, check your accounts. Just do a checkup with us, if anything. But we're here for you. 888-759-3335.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. Be well and enjoy your retirement. Take care.